I totally understand that you may think that this is a very easy topic. Why will somebody not know? But I bet you there are so many people who do not know this. I myself inclusive, until my last job, I never knew things that were classified as public fund. I almost made the mistake because I had this colleague who he's a Filipino. He came here with his family. They've been here for a very long time, so they have their citizenship now. And for some reason, he also knows my husband, so my husband knows this story. For some reason, he kept saying, Gloria, you can apply for child benefits. I wasn't sure. I'm like, really? He kept saying, yes, I'm very, very, very sure. You can apply for council house. I was actually renting, but then he's like, oh, your rent is too expensive. You can actually apply for council house. So I'm like, all right. I went home. I spoke with my husband. I printed the council house form. The form is this big. I had it. It's not long. I don't know where I kept it. And then I printed the child benefit form. They'll say per child, you can attach as many children as you want. I printed everything. I filled it. I submitted the council house one. And then they returned it and said, because of your visa, you are not allowed, you're not eligible. And I know, now that I'm aware, I know so many people are falling into big trouble for applying for council house. So I just thought I should come and tell people who are going to be in the same category or who are in the same shoe as I am. I'm going to be giving you the reasons or the things that you should please try not to do. If you're on a tier 2 visa, or if you're on a student visa, or you're on a visa that is not indefinite leave to remain, a visa that says no access to public fund, a visa that has restriction, make sure you check your visa and the terms and conditions. You know how they'll say terms and conditions apply? I will not read the terms and conditions, we'll just say agreed. Luckily, in fact, I now chatted one brother like that. He's been here in Northern Ireland for a while. I'm like, you also have children in the UK. Are we allowed to apply for child benefit? It's like, Gloria, don't try it. Even if they mistakenly give you, please beg them to take it back, because don't even try it. You're not eligible to public fund. It is also counted as public fund. I'm like, really? Because I never knew. I just felt it's child benefit. You see, just because you have a child, like other countries, it should be eligible, it should be entitled. The first is, do not work more than the required hours. I know this is a bit confusing just because the Home Office did not say how many hours in particular a tier 2 visa holder can work. But what they've said, just to cover themselves and maybe to put you in trouble, is that apart from your contracted hours, you know, when they issue your visa, when they give you your visa, you have hours that you were contracted to work. 33 hours, 30 hours, 34 hours, 44, someone like me when we came, 44 good hours, 37.5 hours. The Home Office already know that these are the hours that you are allowed. So they know that is not a problem. But what they've said is, apart from your original contracted hours, and especially if you're going to be working for an employer that is not your current employer that issued you certificate of sponsorship, you cannot work more than 20 hours, just like the student visa. I've made an entire video about that, how that has affected somebody from switching their job from a tier 4 visa to a tier 2 visa. You should not work more than 20 hours, except during COVID when they allowed and said you can work as long as you want. But after COVID, if I were you, I would still just be careful. Do not work more than 20 hours outside your normal contracted hour. I know some employers will come and give you letters, because I had that when I started. They brought a form to say we want to sign out of for the 44 hours that we were contracted to work, and say that we want to work as many hours as we want. You're allowed. If your employer has given you that form, you filled it, the Home Office will be aware that you're doing extra hours at your own workplace. But if you're going to work including agency, if you're going to work outside your normal contracted hour and you're still on the visa, you should then apply. If you're going to work more than 20 hours outside, either as an agency nurse, you should then, or as an agency carer, you should then inform the Home Office so that you can then collect another certificate of sponsorship and get 2 sponsorship for those 2 jobs, because that is going to then be counted as if you have 2 main jobs, which I will not advise you to do, not just for your health, but for the sake of it. Another thing is you not paying your tax. I know this is easy. You say most employers will take your tax. Some of us that work as agency, we work under some umbrella company, some is pay as you earn, and you may be working under agencies that are not sincere, that will not remit your tax. Be sure that you're paying tax as you're doing that extra job, because if you don't pay your tax, if you're not paying enough tax, it's going to affect your indefinite leave to remain. You deciding to stay outside the UK, you're on a tier 2 visa, but I don't even know how this is possible anyway, but then staying outside the UK for more than 180 days in a 12-month calendar period. In a year, you're not allowed to stay more than 6 months outside the UK on a tier 2 visa. That may or will affect your indefinite leave to remain application. While your maternity leave, I've got a few questions on this one of my video I made about maternity leave. I've heard somebody even asked me, said, while I'm on maternity leave in my NHS job, can I then start working as agency? And the answer is no, you can't, because the moment you go back to work, you're supposed to return to work at your own main job. Because if you're saying you're eligible to, you're fit to work as agency, why are you then not working on in your main job? You should then just do your return to work and go back to your work. Your maternity leave, you're getting paid for not working, and then you're going outside to go and work as much as you want. Why you're supposed to be on maternity leave? Be very careful when you do that. If it comes to public fund, I made a little mention about this when I started this video. Public fund can be a bit confusing. If you've been confused, it's not your fault. It's just because sometimes we don't know these things. They will just say, no, it costs to public fund, but you don't know things that public fund entails. Please permit me to use my phone so I can list it quickly. I'm going to be leaving the link to this list in the description box. It says income-based job seeker allowance, income support, child tax credit, universal credit, working tax credit, social fund payments, child benefits, housing benefits, council tax benefits, council tax benefits, council tax reduction. Even me, myself, I think I've fallen victim of council tax reduction scam. Domestic rate relief, state pension credit, attendance allowance, severe disablement allowance, personal independence payment, carers allowance, disability living allowance, and allocation of local authority housing. So council house, don't take council house. Local authority homelessness assistance. So if you become homeless, don't take any support. Public fund do not include benefits that are based on national insurance contribution. National insurance is paid in the same way as income tax and is based on any benefit to which person is entitled as a result of national insurance include. So these are the things that you are eligible to take. They are not counted as public fund. You're allowed to take contribution-based job seeker allowance, incapacity benefit, retirement pension, that's you can get your pension, widow's benefit, and bereavement benefit. So if you lose your partner, you're going to get, and you'll be entitled to get some fund, guardian's allowance, maternity pay. These are the things, even tax reduction. These are the things that you are eligible for. Please be careful, be guided. Don't fall a victim. I just have to let you know that these are the things you need to avoid, just so in future it will not affect you. Because you know, information is power. The more you know, the better informed you are, and the less problem you will fall into. So just be very, very careful. This country do not want to give you anything for free. They want you to work hard to get it. But the moment you get your indefinite leave and your citizenship, no. Then you can apply for anything applicable. Although you still have to be careful. But at least you know now, you know what I'm talking about. I wish you good luck in all your endeavor. Please subscribe. Oh. Subscribe. Oh. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, Biko, I'm begging. I'm not doing guy. I beg. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video and I wish you good luck. Bye.